Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to focus on the data shifter. In the previous video we talked about the student form, and the importance of this feature is that it allows us to move students from one class to another. It makes work a little bit easier, um, and since you are able to create reports and things like that in the student area, with this you can move students or one student from one class to another, or you can reverse the process in that regard. So in that way you don't have to do things manually. um, you can use just by clicking on one button and everything is done for you. Okay, so how that works is that you have these two combos here which have some grades, um, and you can select the grade that you want to shift. For example, you want maybe to move students from standard 1, which is representing grade 1, and to grade 2. Now what you can just do is click on this, and voila, so the information has been moved. So we no longer have students in standard 1, all the students are now in standard 2. If we want some student to go back in standard 1, we can just select that student and click on this one. So these two buttons allows us to move one student at a time, and these ones they allow us to move all the students. Okay, so if we do this, okay, now we have those students there in standard 1 in that regard. Okay, now there are some um, other tables that just are in one direction. For example, as instruction shows here, is that you can only transfer students from preschool in one direction, that is from preschool to standard 1, preschool to standard 2, and things like that. But you cannot move students from standard 1 to preschool. You can't do that. So the reverse is not there. So just uh, just make sure that when you're doing transfer, at least you do maybe one by one, or if everybody's okay to go into grade 1, then you can just use just one click to move all the students. So one of the things you need to note also is that you can't transfer information from the same, like moving information from the same table, like from preschool to preschool. You can do that. So this message will show up. You're not allowed to transfer data into the same table. Um, so let's assume that we want to move information from here, standard 1, into preschool. Let's see what's going to happen. So we're going to try one person first. Select. You cannot transfer data into this table. We can't do that. So that's what I meant when talking about you can't move information from standard 1 or any other standard uh, into preschool. So preschool is just one direction. It's able to feed the other tables, but it can't receive from other tables. Okay, another thing that you need to know is that sometimes there's some tables that when you put them in a certain order, you cannot do the transfer. But again, when you switch the order, you are able to do that. And that exists when you're dealing with the graduate and the forms, like or form 1 or form 2 or 3, things like that. So for example, let's take first this graduates, and then say form. Do I have anything in form 2? Okay, I have some people in form 2. Okay, if I want to move information from form 2 to graduates, I think, let's see what is going to happen. All right, I'm able to transfer information. And then if I get one person from here, and then let me do this. Okay, I'm able to do that. Now let's say Form 2 here and graduates. I want to move this person to this. I want to move this person to this. Okay, so this is not an error. It's just the order, the selected order for doing the transfer. So if you meet something like that, just try to change the order of labels here, and then I try to do the transfer, and then you'll be able to see whether it's successful or not. One other thing that I need to point out now is that the data transfer only allows you to shift information from one table to another. It doesn't do some of the cleaning of the information, especially the grades. So those you have to manually go to the student table and change them. Sorry about that, but that's a little bit of a task that you are going to have. The other thing that I need to mention is that when you are transferring information, just make sure you start from the upper grades. So for example, you get students from Form 4 and then throw them into graduates table, and those from Form 3 throw them into Form 4. That will prevent you from mixing information. So for example, information from grade 1 and then you throw it into grade 2, you're going to have a larger list, and then you can't move that list into grade 3. What will happen there is that you have to transfer students like one by one, selecting them one by one. So instead of mixing information in that way, you can follow that order, so that you don't have those kinds of dilemmas and things like that. So when you have moved information, you're going to have only two tables that are going to be empty. In that regard, depends with what with your transfer. That is grade 1 and also the preschool. So with those, you're going to manually enter the information because they are new students in that regard, or new pupils. Okay, so let's try to go back to the students area and see how you can do some data cleaning. So you go here, click on students, and then you come on edit and then select the grade, for example grade 1, and then check on the grade and put the right grade. So this is grade 1, just make sure that it is grade 1, and then this one is showing grade 1, it's just another one, so you can say grade 1. So that's the data cleaning I was talking about when it comes to grade. So if you go on grade 2, if you find anything that is not, for example this one is showing grade 12, I've done a lot of testing and things like that. That's the reason why the information is a little bit like this. So you can then select grade 2 and things like that. Okay, it shouldn't take you too long because that is the only thing that you're required to do when you have done the data transfer. Just go to the your specific grade and then change some information if there's some errors in that way. If there are no errors, then just change the grades. Okay, so if you have any question concerning the data shifter and things like that, you can ask in the comment section, and always feel free to visit the website helpswisslive.com and check the documentation there, and you'll find some helpful information there. As for now, this is where we end. Thank you very much.